today I've gone through your video comments suggesting I watch some Star Rail Myriad Celestia trailers and animated shorts, including The Flash. There's been a lot of comments about that one. I've got my popcorn ready. I hope you do as well. I'm starting with some Xianzhou ones that may give me some perspective and answer some questions I've had lingering about the Fentilia arc that I just finished on the Luofu. So I'll watch them, I'll talk a little bit about them, and we'll move on to the next one. Starting with the history of the Xianzhou 7 Arbiter-Generals.
I regret to admit it, but the Xianzhou have very few legends. For what room is there to create legends among those who do not die? But there is one distant legend that can still be recounted. The story of the Cloud Knight Generals. It began 8,000 years ago.
It's a long time ago.
When the Emperor of an ancient kingdom yearned for both legacy and immortality. He sent our Xianzhou ancestors into the Astral Sea.
I remember this part from the game.
And through the boundless stellar reaches sailed, great ships in isolation softly veiled.
That's when they left their planet, right?
After voyaging 2,000 years, the ships discovered traces of the divine.
Yaosha.
The plague's author revealed themselves and offered an immeasurable lifespan.
Oh, and there's the tree.
But the blessing was a curse. Those who exceeded their lifespan became the deathless doom.
That doesn't sound good.
And thus the Alliance's long and peaceful years were lost in sickness, treachery, blood, and tears. At the very precipice of the Xianzhou's existence, the Rainbow Arbiter descended and redeemed the crumbling Alliance.
Lan has appeared.
For the next 5,000 years, the Alliance voyaged the vast cosmos, purifying the universe under divine mandate. Heading the 6 ships were the vanguards of the hunt, the 7 Arbiter-Generals. Behold at the marshal's side, 6 generals of renown. Fierce and swift is Fei Xiao, the Merlin's claw.
Merlin! It's a wizard.
Strong and righteous is Hua Yan, the flaming heart.
Fire.
Cautious and sophisticated is Yao Guang, the seer strategist.
Do they all have an element? It feels like it.
Is Xuan Chuan, the sage queller.
Okay.
Mysterious and fair is Yao Wu, the patina justice.
I'm just gonna pause here because there's a lot of names and they're all Chinese and I'm not gonna remember these names. I'm just gonna tell you this now. If we ever meet one of these just out in passing, I'm not gonna remember that they were an Arbiter General, most likely.
Wise and brave is Jing Yuan.
Except for this one, I remember this one.
The 7 Arbiter Generals wield extraordinary
He's my favorite.
powers. Intelligent and visionary Jing Yuan of the Luofu is admired by friends and feared by foes.
Totally not biased because he's the only one I've met though.
And the trap was set. The Borsons soon, with crushing loss, were met.
There he is.
An army must be of one heart and mind, where skillful sleight of hand is little use. The Cloud Knights entrusted their lives to me. I shall not fail them.
Glory to the Xianzhou! Glory to the Cloud Knights! Glory to the Xianzhou! Glory to the Cloud Knights! The hunt is with us!
Quite the story, Master Gongshu.
Wait, what's he doing in this video? What's Lucha doing in the end of the video? So I don't have much to say about this one because it started off with generally things I knew already. They recounted the whole thing about the Luofu leaving their planet and going out to find immortality. and then meeting the Plague Author and all that. So I knew all that from before. And I figured there were probably other leaders on the other ships, because I know the Xianzhou is a fleet, right? And we've only been on the Luofu, which is one of the ships. So I guess I got to see the names of the others and maybe like the elements, but didn't get to see what they looked like. Though I vaguely feel like Facial might have been released at some point because that name seems familiar. Like maybe I've seen it on a banner or something. Am I correct to assume that Facial has released? They have released, and they seem to be a playable character. Yeah, okay. And Facial was the Merlin's Claw. Seems to be the fire one, and it's on the Yao Xing. Isn't that where Xushang is from? Xushang originally a native of the Yao Xing. Yeah, okay. It's cool that we're connecting the dots here a little bit. I guess they also shared all the names of the different ships, but that doesn't mean much to me at the moment. I guess the only other thing of note that I can think of to say is that the Sangshang was not one of the ships, and that's where Jing Liu said she was from. So clearly that ship doesn't exist anymore, which adds up because Yangxing didn't seem to be aware of that ship existing. So it's cool that they've added another general though. I reckon we'll probably meet them down the line, maybe after I've been to Pentaconi. Let's continue with History of the Xianzhou, Exodus of the Five Dragons.
I have traversed great lengths seeking a piece of history. The history of Long the Permanence.
I too know little of the progenitor of all dragons. Before the dawn of history, Long traversed the burgeoning chaos, seeking the answer to existence. And on that path, the revelation of the permanence was unraveled. Then came our emergence, us, Long Scions.
I visited Liaris, a world encircled by 5 suns.
Am I right to assume that Long was an Eon? I probably should know this already, but I don't think it's been explicitly told to me that Long was an Eon. You don't have to answer in the comments, I'm gonna figure this out myself. The deceased ancient Eon who preserved over the path of permanence. Yeah, they don't normally give name and then adjective or whatever to anything if it's not an Eon. Inactive, disappeared some time ago, said to be deceased. And Long's scions are basically the descendants of Long.
The giant dragon sat overseeing the turning of day and night, the change of seasons, sheltering the lives within. Could the revelation of the permanence signify the timeless nature of one's greatness?
The relentless pursuit of individual immortality will only breed an unending multitude of malevolent creatures. Such is the fallacy of the Plague's author.
So then does the permanence represent the continuance of bloodline? I also journeyed to the ancestral home of the Infernalian people, in the land of white embers. The undead dragon Typhon's breath showered flames on the land below, bringing forth a flourishing lineage.
Long scions are dispersed throughout countless worlds, living in solitude. In the vastness of the universe, the rise and fall of one race is of little consequence.
It is said that the Vidyadhara formed an alliance with the Xianzhou, and that 5 elders descended upon the mortal realm to keep watch over the plague moths. Perhaps the permanence is the noble ambition that ensures the safety of the universe.
Alas, Imbibitor Lunae forsook his oath, causing a state of great disorder. The High Elders too bear mortal frailties, their heavy burdens ultimately becoming the shackles which bind them.
From your perspective, what does the permanence's revelation truly signify?
As the sun and moon rise and fall, the world undergoes continuous change. So the concept of stability is meaningless. Only by comprehending and aligning with the way of the world can one's path lead to everlasting existence. Countless new creations.
Hold on a second. So I just started reading these. They're passing by a little fast. Is there a Long Scion on each of the Xianzhou ships as well? Calerum Venti, High Elder of the Yao Xing, successor of the Winged Dragon, Sovereign of Storms, bound to watch over the Lunar Embryo. And the Lunar Embryo is the moon representation that Xushang mentioned on her ship, which is much similar to how Dan Feng needed to look over the Ambrosial Arbor on the Luofu. I love also how they use Venti as the winged dragon of air when Venti is one of the archons in Genshin Impact. And then Arden's Regia is the High Elder of the Zuming ship, successor of the Horned Dragon, wielder of the Heavenly Flame, bound to watch over the Primordial Flame.
Everlasting existence. Countless new creatures.
Glacia Tormarum is the High Elder of the Feng Hu, successor of the Scaled Dragon, tamer of the Ebbing Frost, bound to watch over the miniature myriads.
Nations emerge when one dragon meets its end among the morning stars. For the Vidyadhara, this is the true teaching of the permanence.
Mons Grandis, High Elder of the Yushu, successor of the Terrestrial Dragon, Wanderer of the Congealed Silence, bound to watch over the fallen Earth.
Within the cycle of life, any endpoint may mark the inception of a new journey. And for him, it is no different.
Shackled Dragon. It's Dan. Alright, so there's more dragon people on the other ships. At least there was more. I don't know if there are still. So when they said that Dan was shunned by the High Elders, they didn't just mean like the older Vidyadhara on the Lawfu. They meant probably every single one of the general dragons on the other ships, right? See, they've never specified that. So I always just thought that the dragons were mainly on the Lawfu. I didn't realize there were these fantastical relics on every ship that were being looked after by Vidyadhara. Sure, that's neat. Okay, I learned something new. Also, if I understand something wrong here, just feel free to correct me in the comments. Next up, we've got an animated short, A Flash. Is that the general? Oh, yes, it is. That's Jing Liu.
Heed this oath.
Doesn't have her eye band on,
As
though.
clouds that cover the heavens, will the knights protect the Xianzhou.
Draw. Yes, master.
It's baby Jing!
Cover the heavens.
Will the knights protect the Xianzhou?
Is this why she got exiled, maybe?
Hold firm. A cloud knight must never let slip their will, nor let slacken their form.
Yes, master.
Aww, he's so cute.
Doesn't recognize us.
So it is with the Mara struck. To become stricken with Mara is to be a long-life species. If I too become stricken in times hereafter, you must not hold back.
Yes, master.
She did get struck at some point.
No sense of time, humanity waiting. A serious case. You should leave, Jingyuan. Jingyuan is already.
She got struck, and that's why she froze all the Cloud Knights. That's terrible, dude. Imagine how hard it must be to just have your teacher turn Mara struck. Especially her, she seems kind of insanely strong.
Farewell, master. Your gift of instruction. I will pay in this strike.
Well, he clearly won that outcome, but like...
9,996,
9,997, 9,998, 9,999, 10,000!
A Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon, nor let slacken their form. Though, you'll have to grow a little taller before the knights will have you.
Even in the animated short, they're talking about his height. Oh my god. I don't think he's ever gonna get tall. I think he's gonna be short for all his life, and they're just always gonna give him crap about it.
I want to be like you, General. I want to be a famous Xianzhou legend.
You do. It is a difficult road.
But that's the road you took, right, General?
Seeing as you're so full of fighting spirit.
Yeah. I won't hold back.
Oh, they're so cute together. I was almost expecting him to be like, if I ever get struck with Mara, Yangqing, don't hold back. You know, say the same thing that Jingliu said to him. It's just so hard seeing those situations where something bad happens, you know? But clearly, the strike only knocked her out and she fled after that, right? Because, I mean, she's still in the game. It's not like she disappeared at that point. It's sad that their relationship got severed because of the Mara sickness. And it's like, yeah, it's sad that there's no real cure for the sickness as well. Seemingly, anyway. What I don't quite understand, though, is the Mara struck see everything as enemies, and they start attacking things wildly. But both Blade and Jingliu seem to be in control of themselves. Despite being Mara struck, I mean, Blade uses Mara when fighting. Jingliu uses Mara when fighting, but it seems like they really have to fight their urge to destroy when they use their powers. There was also one thing I noticed Jingliu say when she was in the shackling prison at the end of that scene. She still seems to want to take down Yaosha. So it seems like the rational part of her wants to get rid of the Mara sickness despite being sick with it, but just keeping it controlled inside her. It doesn't seem like she's evil in the sense that she wants to just destroy things because she's Mara struck. I know Jing Yuan has a character quest. Maybe they explain more of it there. At least I hope so, because there's still some stuff I'd like to know more about here. Before we watch the next video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, next up we've got Ichor of Two Dragons.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Oh my god. Jing, we got Jingliu. Oh my god, is that Blade? On the right, that has to be Blade, right? He had white hair before? I'm just not sure who the fox lady is. It's not Fei Xiao, is it?
Hey, why the frown, Ming Xing? You too, Arbiter Lune. Let's see you smile.
Danfeng!
Let them off the hook by heart. They're still sore from losing to Jingliu.
Want a rematch? I'm always available.
Oh, wait a second. No, that's not Danfeng. That's Dan Heng. He's reminiscing about the old times.
How long will you keep running? I have to leave. Leave? You'll find no refuge among the stars. The High Elder's succession is as eternal and unyielding as the ancient sea. That past is yours. No, you are my reincarnation. A mirror image. A past life sin must be repaid in this one. Not you! For those who defy our creed and break the succession, death is the only redemption.
He was kind of a piece of crap in his previous life, honestly.
deserves no mercy! You have nowhere to run.
Don Feng guilty of unpardonable sin. In light of past merit, the sentence shall be commuted to molting rebirth and eternal banishment.
Why did you take this path?
Hand over the transmutation arcanum and the preceptors will spare
Why did you
your life.
do this? It's all because of you.
Am I crazy, or have they still not told me why he was exiled? Did I miss that at some point? Because they keep saying like, oh, for your crimes, we're punishing you by banishment and all that. I don't feel like they've told me why he was banished, or what he did to get banished. Also, I can't help but laugh at the whole, my generation did something bad, so now your generation has to pay for it kind of thing, because that's exactly what the Don Feng is saying here. The decisions I made, now you have to fix it. Younger version of myself.
Starting today, you're one of the express crew.
Don Hung, I'm clocking off for now. Attention! The express is about to make the jump.
You're right. You are my past. But you will follow me into my future! I will blaze a path of my own! And it's futile!
Yeah, you show him. I'm so proud of Dan.
Go then. Leave. And don't look back.
Don Hung, quit daydreaming. Give me a smile. Another one. Say cheese. Huh?
Are you alright? Just reminiscing.
Huh? Reminiscing? About what? Come on, tell me.
Let him be, Marge.
Stella was in this cutscene as well. Is she like the poster cutscene character for this game as the main character? Because on Genshin, Aether is like their poster child main character, and Lumine tends to be the one that they're trying to find. Surely they're not looking for Kalis though, right? So maybe Stella is the character they've gone with. It's nice that Dan took control of his life and didn't let his past control his current state. Happy about that. Not much else to say about that one, really. Though I was told to also check out this video by Cat with Blue Hat. I've seen some of her videos before. 10 things you might have missed in Ichor of Two Dragons. Everyone in the scene, including Dan Feng, Dan Hung's previous reincarnation, are part of the High Cloud Quintet. Don't know what the High Cloud Quintet is, but okay. It was a legendary group of 5 heroes in Xianzhou's past. Its leader was Jingliu, who was also the previous sword champion of the... Yep, I know that. Jingliu was from the Shenzhen flagship. The one that doesn't exist anymore. Was that why they said there was 7 ships but 6 generals? She eventually became Mara-struck and Jingyuan defeats her in the year 738. Yep. This person is Jing Xing, immortal of short-lived species unlike the other 4. Seems quite old at the time of this scene. So was it not Blade? Because it looked exactly like Blade with white hair. He was a craftsman and created 4 unique weapons for the members of the High Cloud Quintet. Jing Yuan's Star Reverie, okay. Dan Feng's Cloud Piercer. Blade's Shattered Sword. It has to be Blade. If he made Blade's sword, there's no shot it's not Blade. Bai Heng's Mysterious Recurve Bow. Bai Heng is the name of faction who we see in this scene. King Liu was the one who recruited the 4 members, with Jing Yuan being the last to join. He did this to save Xianzhou Yukyu from the assault of monsters of the Abundant. Okay, so they had a Mara-struck problem. The group has defeated Borisin, a distant species related to Foxians on the planet Thalassa, and also destroyed the living planet Ketu Mirage in the past. The group disbanded when Dan Feng committed a grave sin. At one time, Dan Feng secretly allowed Jing into the Dragon Palace at Scale Gorge Waterscape. The exact events are still unclear, but in the end, Jing gained the power of the Abundance and became immortal. In this short, we can also see this brief scene of Jing and possibly Dan Feng, which might be related to this incident. So if Dan Feng had this guy in Scale Gorge Waterscape, and this guy ended up being Mara-struck with Abundance power, then it's definitely Blade. Because we already know Blade has Mara powers. He's using Blade. So was the reason for Dan Feng's exile then potentially that he let Jing into this place and ended up with Mara powers? Or Abundance powers, I should say. Dan Feng was found guilty and punished. He was forced to undergo his Vidyadhara rebirthing process and became Dan Heng. That definitely seems like the reason for why they didn't want him to be around anymore then, yeah. I wonder why Dan Feng would want to have Jing. Oh, wait, I think I know. Jing was probably getting old. They said he was a short-lived species. He was probably getting old. Dan Feng didn't want to lose his friend and fellow groupie, you know? So maybe he took Jing to get Abundance powers so he would live longer. And it probably backfired somehow. Plus the Law Fu wasn't happy about it either. You can also see in a short scene where Dan Feng is chained, the description reveals that he was chained between pillars pierced by long nails and sealed in darkness. Soon after, both Dan Heng and Blade were both exiled from the Law Fu. Yingxing, now known as Blade, pursued Dan Heng across the universe before joining the Stellaron Hunters. So why does he now blame Dan and want to fight him? It's like Dan Feng forced Yingxing to get Abundance powers. That's what it almost sounds like from Blade's perspective anyway.
Of 5 people.
So that's what they meant by 5 people. It was the 5 people in the quintet. 3 must pay the price. That does explain that sentence now. It's theorized that the 3 are Dan Feng, Jing Liu, and Yingxing. Jing Liu relentlessly killed Blade when teaching him sword arts. She did this to make him remember death so that he may bring it upon his enemies. The weapon that Blade now carries is the one Jing Liu used to kill him thousands of times. That's the reason why it's shattered. Oh yeah, and I guess since he's part of the Abundance, he can't die, right? Blade might blame Yingxing because he may have consented to his immortality. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it would have been Yingxing's idea to embrace Abundance and then convince Dan Feng that he wanted to go through with it. And since they were friends, he said yes to it. This short also shows a brief scene of Blade with his sword pierced through his chest, possibly by him trying to end his own life. Bai Heng is the only member that we don't know much about other than her weapon. Okay. Since Foxians like her usually live for around 300 years, it's likely she's no longer around. And we can also see that the Imbibitor Lunae of Dan Feng looked quite different from Dan Heng's Imbibitor Lunae. This also means that the one we saw in Myriad Celestia trailer was not Dan Heng, but Dan Feng, who is shackled. Okay, that did answer some questions, yeah. Or it answered some questions out about Blade more than anything. So in that case, is Jing Liu, is she like just constantly hunting him down to like take him out? The Abundance has caused a lot of problems for these people, is what I'm gathering here. There's very little positive content about Yaosha the Abundance. You could say, yeah, sure, but this is seen from the perspective of the hunt, I guess, yeah? But they didn't start off as being with the hunt. They started off as being with the Abundance caused them problems, and then the hunt rolled in afterwards. So yeah, Yaosha's been problematic for a lot of people. But also, did the Stellaron Hunters just bounce from the Law Fu after they awoke Dan Heng's Imbibitor stage? Because we never saw them again after that point. And Jing Liu ended up in the shackling prison, but did she meet Blade before they left? I would have to assume no. Good video though. Nice recap, and also I learned something from that, so that's useful. Next up, we've got the Celestial trailer, Jepella Rebellion Scene 47. So I think we're done with the Law Fu stories now, and this one's about the Stellaron Hunters.
Kafka, Stellaron Hunter. How do you plead? The crimes you have committed are beyond pardon, but the Jepella Brotherhood respects every individual's entitlement to the afterlife. Admit your guilt, and embrace your punishment.
I'm listening.
How do the Stellaron hunters plead to the following accusations? You breached the premises of the Tatooine Universal Auction, manipulated the guests, decimated the artistic treasures under the gaze of a devout audience, inflicted monetary damage amounting to over 860 billion credits, and absconded with the auction item. How do you plead?
Guilty as charged, but not a devout audience.
You infiltrated the cyber prison of Inupis, stole the Sigma Rod to deactivate the firewall, allowing a flood of data demons to enter reality, consequently propelling the world toward a judgment day, all in order to take the meta code. How do you plead?
I admit it, but those data demons deserve a taste of freedom.
You violated the ring world Golconda, disseminated the Philosopher's poison virus across all colonies, causing 46 million inorganic entities to turn into rampant machines, and stole the steel core from Golconda's point of gravitational equilibrium, silencing the entire world.
Jesus.
Sounds like a page out of the Jepella Brotherhood's playbook. But sure, we took the thing.
The Trovis disappearance. The Lore 51 Stellaron event. Cyber attacks against planet Skrullum. The Pierpoint incursion. And so on. A total of 46 criminal cases. Do you admit that all these malicious incidents were the work of the Stellaron hunters?
If you ask me, it seems like the Annihilation Gang has their fingers in quite a few of these pies. But I confess, it seems you forgot one though. The Jepella Rebellion.
She got out? Of course she got out.
You should really stop playing with your food, Kafka.
I know. Next time. This time?
Oh, is that all the Stellaron hunters? You've got Blade, you've got Silverwolf, you've got Kafka, and then you've got Mr. Armor. Yeah, let's just go with that.
It's already too late.
Huh. They love causing chaos in the name of Stellaron hunting. I don't have much to say on that one. That one was just kind of fun. Though I do feel like I should mention that it's incredibly wild how many planets and how fleshed out they've like created this universe. They've got planets with like animal humans. They just snap their fingers and they've got a new planet with something crazy on it, you know? And then like 5 years later, they start releasing content for that area. It's crazy how much potential there is for new content and new planets to explore. Okay, we've got another Celestia trailer. This is the Interstellar Peace Tour Selection, Planning, and Opportunity. And this one's connected to the Interastral Peace Corporation.
Hey there, you! Yes, you! Wait for you. The gem filled with endless potential.
Me?
Hold on to your hats. The IPC's gem identification system will ensure that each and every talent you possess will be harnessed for intergalactic peace. Do you have the thrill of adventure coursing through your veins? If so, our marketing development department is rolling out the red carpet just for you. With the nameless Oswaldo Schneider leading the way, a vast number of new worlds will soon be a part of our expansive credit system. If you're someone who values structure and logic, our business consolidation department offers the perfect stage for you to shine. With products twinkling like a million stars, this department has created a spectacular trade network that's measured in light years.
Is this a recruitment video? This feels like a recruitment video.
Heard of hyper-distant delivery systems and synesthesia beacons? What was once science fiction is now reality. Proudly produced by the IPC. Got an idea that's nothing short of genius? Look no further. Our technology department is waiting for you. Join us and team up with the Intelligentsia Guild. When the glitters of fortune and title dim before the luminous path of the Amber Lord, know that the building material logistics department is the sanctuary for the most ardent of followers. Become the cornerstone of our operations. Every stone you place with precision plays a pivotal role. Grit will form the backbone of our formidable subspace barrier. If you're someone whose qualities go beyond the ordinary, unyielding in the harshest of storms, this message is for you. At the Strategic Investment Department, talent is the most precious investment of all. Origin, background, irrelevant. Diamond seeks out the unique and the extraordinary. Those who sit at the table will determine where the wealth pours. The Talent Motivation Department isn't just another division. It's a shining beacon of empowerment. Top talent deserves top perks, and that's why the Talent Motivation Department was established. Every task you undertake serves as the
diverse office pets. That's a great perk.
Pioneering spark that sets Pierpoint's passion ablaze. For those seasoned in their craft and still holding on to cherished dreams, our operations are as everlasting as the sway of ocean tides along the shore. Witness the traditional project department's great supervisor, Arita, ready to capture the treasures the tide unveils.
The senior department.
Take the leap, join our ranks, and climb to unparalleled heights. Shape the destinies of myriad worlds, and make the history of the galaxy your very own footnote. The mighty hammer of the Amber Lord has struck. A realm of endless opportunities beckons. We're waiting for you.
Definitely a recruitment video. The IPC just wants to own everything or have a finger in everything, huh? Universal credit system for all planets, big profits, building structured, like a mega corporation of the galaxy. Okay, we've got Celestia trailer Fables about the stars, part 1. This one's about eons, so this one should be pretty interesting.
Let's make an exchange, shall we? An exchange of memories. I dreamed of a ray of light, of a crystal chalice. The light that shone from that crystal spoke to me.
Pretty.
Listen to the parable of the stars. The nameless one, the pathless one, arrived from the edge of the wilderness, clad in stellar radiance. Go now, march unwaveringly into solar wind. At the end, you will return to my embrace, but march towards the light. Yet that light began to burn, piercing through the clouds as a golden death. Towers crumbled, and the people fled, for the sun was soon to set and meet with vicious destruction. But be not dismayed, O child of the world. The Luck's arrow will descend to purge the wicked abomination.
It's so pretty.
Follow the traces left behind in the storm's wake. The Celestial One guards their secrets, plotting out the roots that connect all things.
I haven't seen the air edition, I don't think.
They are silent, like a shroud of mist at the center of the universe. Listen to the silence, and you will know where the stars are resting. Let your staff strike the earth, they say. Once and again.
That's a lady.
The tender sprouts will grow to the sky, and the dew that falls from their branches will rid you of sickness.
Seductive but creepy.
Poison. Blindfold your eyes, they say, that the approaching darkness may strike no fear in you. Let it not burden.
It's so purple.
soul, nor numb your stride.
There's eyeballs in it. It's just a purple goop with eyes.
Gates, they
Ah,
say,
Kleeboth I've seen.
and lift up the tablets of lapis. Read them aloud. Let the fire that forged the bricks and the ones that laid the walls' foundations be known.
She paid the Harmony. That's the one that took over Penacony and turned it into Las Vegas rather than the prison world, right?
Then they say, "Oh, you who have reached the end, enter into the paradise that envelops all. Join this great choir and feast. Listen.
Fancy. I like this one.
Upon billions of hearts, holding you in their embrace.
Look upon the courtesan's extravagance.
Elation is creepy.
Arms and temperance.
The veracity.
To the infant in a mirror. The waves.
The beauty.
That they enter the dream.
Propagation.
The tipping of the balance.
Enigma. The equilibrium. There's too many, man. It's going too fast.
Measure the world against yourself. And take all such things to heart. This is the path you should walk, they say. Machiavelli, depart once more. Machiavelli.
Wait, it's Black Swan. She's the one who's talking about Eons. Okay. I've only seen her in warp banners.
Countless shooting stars streak the sky tonight. Should you choose the right one, it will carry your wish to thousands of distant worlds.
So I finally got to see Yaosha. It's like, you see her from the top and then going up, you're like, seductive, seductive, seductive. Why does she have eyeballs in her arms? You know? Or whatever those red things are. Nihility just being like a goop with eyes though. It's like kinda cute. It's the cutest black hole I've ever seen. Shipe looks amazing though. A little bit creepy with the like 4 heads, but dress made out of stars. Hell yeah. And puzzles on her arms. Very stunning. Very stunning. And see, they didn't want to give all of them away. Like they hinted at some of the other ones, but there are a lot of Eons. Final video, I'm going to be pausing quite a bit because we're going to be looking at the Explorers of the Stars. These are all the navigators that the Express has had. And it's from an event a little while ago called Cosmodesy. You might remember it as the episode I said we were playing Monopoly and Star Rail, because that's essentially what it was. And we're starting with Himiko, Explorer of the Stars. Himiko was only a teenager when she encountered the stranded Astral Express. At the time, the Astral Express that once roamed the cosmos had been missing for a very long time. The Express presented her a scenery of magnificent universe, a space with dazzling stars and endless worlds. After years of hard work, Himiko finally repaired the Express and began her journey. Along the way, she witnessed countless wonders, and I wonder if the Express was in disrepair, was Pom Pom just sad in the Express, or did he get recruited at some point? Along the way, she witnessed countless wonders and traveled in the company of many travelers she met unexpectedly, building the crew that we see today. Perhaps the cosmos isn't perfect, but she's willing to lend a helping hand to every kindred spirit out there and set out on the road to the dream. Next up, we've got Granholm, aka the Youngster. Hello, fellow kids. Granholm was only 17 years old when he became the Navigator, but he spent his whole life leading the Astral Express. As the Astral Express traversed world after world, new faces arrived and the old ones departed. Whoever they might be, Granholm always welcomed them with open arms. He took on everything personally and assumed the responsibility of connecting with unfamiliar worlds. In a time marred by disaster and fractured worlds, it was Granholm who transformed the Nameless into heroes from beyond the sky. In the worlds rescued by Granholm, many were inspired by him and became new Nameless. There were also many old friends who chose to stay on these worlds in the hope of bringing a better tomorrow to the lands. Granholm dedicated his life to the Astral Express, and at the end of his journey, he rested peacefully in his favorite armchair forever. Shortly after that, the tale of the Astral Express quietly slipped into obscurity, vanishing into the sea of stars. Then we've got Falcon Amundsen. Amundsen is a Scandinavian name. We had about this guy in school called Roald Amundsen. He was a polar explorer. He was Norwegian like me, and he was the first expeditioner that reached the South Pole point. So I'd almost have to assume that because he was like a polar explorer, they took some inspiration and put a character in with a similar name. So Falcon Amundsen is the Morning Star. Falcon Amundsen served as a navigator in the early days of the Stellaron problems, like a beacon of enlightenment amidst the darkness of the night. Under his leadership, the Astral Express regained its former glory with up to 100 passengers at one point. He continued to seek out other Nameless who departed after the fall of the Trailblaze, reclaiming the obstructed Silver Rail alongside many heroic figures. Many people in the worlds he passed through were inspired by Falcon and volunteered to join the cause of trailblazing as a new generation of the Nameless. Unfortunately, Falcon Amundsen himself passed away prematurely at the outset of his voyage. The Sentinel of Time. IC, aka the Star Seer. This navigator is mysterious, and their accounts in the databank have frequently been manipulated by history fictionologists. It's now widely believed that IC boarded the Astral Express towards the end of the Second Prosperity. His journey led him through the successive events of the fall of Machiavelli and the birth of the Nook, enduring some of the most challenging times, yet he remained steadfast in his commitment to duty. During that period, a number of the Nameless left the Express, and different groups following Trailblaze were also embroiled in internal conflicts. Icy was barely maintaining the connection between the worlds. It is rumored that at one juncture during this extensive and solitary voyage, the crew dwindled to just 2 members. Wow. However, this was closely followed by the heroic years of Falcon Amundsen. Okay. Icy left the Astral Express after stepping down from the Navigator position. During the same period, the Omen Vanguard began to appear in the universe. Omen Vanguards are not something I'm familiar with. Dolly, aka the Crystal Navigator. According to the Express records, Dolly was a musician from TFO. After hearing about the exploits of Akivili, she gladly boarded the Express, hoping to travel across the starry seas to write a ballad for the Trailblaze. Many passengers loved Dolly's crystal clear and elegant voice and boarded the Express just to listen to her ballad. It was said that Akivili had also returned to the Express and stopped to listen to her ballad. Wow. The Eon you're following likes your voice. That's pretty good. When the Eon you follow enjoys your work, that's when you know you've made it. One day while the Express was moving, the Nameless all sensed the fall of the Trailblaze. It was also from that moment that Dolly started her irreversible anomalous crystallization. After 3 days of continuous singing, she handed over the Navigator role and remained under the stars forever. It sounds like she grieved herself into crystal. I think this is the one I got. Bird of Passage, Bob, aka the Tusslehead. Bob was once a member of the Tarantula, a crime syndicate wanted by the IPC and claimed to be dead after leaving the organization. Initially, he assumed the role of Express Guard using a false identity until his true identity was uncovered, leading to his subsequent assignment as the next Navigator. Bob was tall, charming, and consistently messy in his appearance. In his spare time, he loved sleeping, engaging in IPC entertainment programs, and embarking on trailblazing expeditions to explore unfamiliar worlds. Despite claiming to hate silicone-based lives, he invited peaceful mechanical life forms aboard the Express in times of war. Throughout Bob's tenure as Navigator, many passengers boarded the Express with unanswered questions only to have them all resolved accurately before disembarking. It is said that Bob became the prototype for the character who would later evolve into the Tussle Detective. Bob frequently discussed his retirement plans with his fellow crew members, but he met his demise heroically during a defensive battle. Damn. And then we've got Oakley, the Musketeer. According to the Express records, Oakley held the record for being the shortest-serving Nameless Navigator. Approximately 6 months and 2 days. That's not a long time. Initially, Oakley was only an Interastral Peace Corporation bounty hunter with her own destination in mind, harboring no intention of joining the group. While the Astral Express was journeying close to the border planet of Frati, only revealed through later investigation, the former Navigator and passengers all vanished mysteriously due to an anomaly. At the request of the conductor, which probably was Pom-Pom, Oakley temporarily assumed the position of Navigator. She single-handedly thwarted numerous attacks from the savage star beasts, bringing the Express back to the safety of the border star trade zone. So she was kind of just like an intern, taking over since everyone got deleted. Control-Alt-deleted with an anomaly. When the Express finally reached safety, she did not immediately step down from her duties. Instead, she assisted in finding more members and searched for the missing individuals. Oakley was reserved, with only a handful of passengers, recalling glimpses of her sitting alone at the front of the Express, where she occasionally played the harmonica. And after gathering a sufficient number of new passengers, Oakley quietly left the Express. They had a capybara. That's great. The Navigator Capybaba, aka the Three-Eyed. Capybaba was a highly intelligent rodent from the Hydrochoridia family, and often the passengers were curious about its appearance. At the end of the swarm disaster, Capybaba became the Express Navigator due to its precise predictive ability. It preferred sitting in the Express cab, engrossed in reading the logbook, chartering star trails, and rarely meeting the passengers, typically deferring all responsibilities, significant or trivial, to its human handler, deftly steering clear of the encroaching swarm and safeguarding the Astral Express safety on numerous occasions. What's the swarm disaster? Before the population of synesthesia beacons, very few knew that Capybaba was also an astral geographer. Its human handler possessed the ability to interpret the language of most of the Hydrochoridia members, and mentioned that Capybaba communicated with directness and lacked refinement. Thanks to Capybaba, the Astral Express revised the Star Rail map, which is constantly maintained and used today. Having completed this mission, Capybaba stepped down as Navigator and returned home with honor. And lastly, we've got Sam 3000, aka the Guide. Sam 3000, who became known as the Guide, was the Navigator of many Navigators. During her active period, the Astral Express wasn't a specific entity, but rather a fleet of trains that traveled in unison along the Silver Rail. Also, it was much like the Xianzhou ships. Being an Intellitron, she was forthright, vivacious, and loved to compete. While her hearty mechanical laughter always resonated throughout the cars, the Express took note of her arm wrestling victories and defeats with all the passengers, even the ones without arms. She resided in an area of enterprise where the Express ventured into numerous worlds previously unexplored by any before her. Fuli's Eden of Blessed Insight was one such place where the Nameless claimed to have seen the Enigmata manifesting in the world's reflection. Sam 3000 only resigned as a navigator when her body's machinery completely deteriorated and its parts could no longer be replaced, and she did so with expectations of a great trailblazing era. There you go, there's some of the heads of the Astral Express. Kind of fun to see all these like quirky characters. Himiko seems like one of the more normal ones in comparison to a lot of these. Alright, well I'm out of popcorn, so that means the episode's over. Thank you for joining me watching some stuff today. I did feel like I learned some stuff. That was cool. I think the vast majority of what I learned today was about the Lawfu. The IPC stuff, the Stellaron Hunter stuff, that was mainly just entertainment. Got to see some new Eons, that was cool. But yeah, I learned a lot about the Lawfu characters, I feel like, today. Some past, some previous. I learned a lot about Jing Yuan's past, about Jing Liu's past. I got to see Blade before he became Blade, and I guess that also sort of revealed Dan Heng's grave sin, essentially turning Blade's human version towards the path of abundance. If I misinterpreted something or there's anything you need to correct, please do feel free to do that in comments so I can understand it. And if there's ever more of these short videos that you'd like me to watch, drop them in the comments and I'll put them into my list. And we'll gather up some more for the next time we do this. If you're enjoying the Star Rail content, do like and subscribe. I also recently unlocked YouTube membership, so if you want to check that out, there's a link on the join button below with all the information you'll need about it. Thanks for joining me today, happy trailblazing, and I'll see you next time. Rainy out.